Welcome back. This is Liz Morrow, and this week I wanted to talk about sketching supplies. Last week I kind of alluded to it on my video of the sphere. So I went to my local crafting supply store and got some supplies. So I have a sketchbook, and sketchbooks come in all different sizes. So depending on what you want to do with it, what you want to sketch, and a lot of times I take my sketchbooks with me. Here's some larger ones. And so I like to get an array because I like to put smaller ones in my bag. I always have a sketchbook with me to sketch in. So we have the sketchbook. We have a supply of 12 pencils, which we'll go over these in detail and what the letters on them mean. We have a basic supply of drawing tools, blending stumps, and this is an eraser. So we will go over that and all those in detail. I also wanted to mention to watch at the end of the video for details about a giveaway. So let's get started. Okay, so we have all our supplies here, and I want to start with these drawing tools. I'm going to open these up. So what we have is a smaller blending stump, which is just rolled up paper. And then here's a white plastic eraser, and then this is a kneaded eraser. See if I can open it up here. And these are kind of fun because this helps get the pencil, the lead off your fingers when you knead it. But you can also knead it. I can't get it open. You can also knead it in different shapes. So if you want to erase like a really detailed part, you can put it into a point and erase what you want to. So. There we go. Okay. And this you would just get all the little plastic off of it there. You just need it. It's great. It's actually nice to have with you at any time because you can just kind of get rid of tension too. So you can put it into shapes and you can erase, and it stays pretty stiff when you erase. So it's a nice tool to have. We have a couple sharpeners. Okay, and then here's an extra eraser. I just like to have lots of tools, lots of different erasing tools. Then we have our blending stumps. So those are kind of nice. You'd have 3 different blending stumps there. We have our sketchbook, which has some nice sketching paper in it. And then we have our pencils. So let's open this. It's always fun to open a brand new set of pencils. And this one has 12 shades in it, which I don't know if I've ever had such a large set. With all the different, I maybe have had 6, so kind of fun to have 12. So we're going to take these pencils and we are going to do some fun practicing shading and understanding kind of where the colors are and shading are in each one. All right, we have our pencils here, and we have our 12 different shades, and we're going to do kind of some worksheets that I put together here. Whoops. Okay, so this one is showing all the different names and the different colors that I get from them. So the H stands for hardness on the pencils, and that's usually a lighter color. The B stands for black, and it's a softer and darker color. So I just took my pencils and I pushed down. This is a 2H. So I pushed down as hard as I could. I wanted to see how dark. And then I did kind of a medium firmness. And I did super light. I wanted to see how light I could color. I did just a normal line and a squiggly. So that's kind of what I did on all these. And you can see just the difference in the lights and the darks. This gives you a good idea of your pencils and what they can do. Here's another worksheet variation that I did where you can see the light to the dark. And we'll do the HB, which is kind of right kind of in the middle, and we'll just do some hatching lines. I like to make sure I label them so I know. And these will just be good information for me when I go to do my drawings like the sphere like we did last week. Okay, here's another one. I just used 2H, 2B, and 6B. And I have some here, and I wanted to show you. I started to do it and I'm like, no, I'm gonna show you. So I erased some of them. So I started out farther apart and I got my lines just closer together as I went towards the middle. And then 2B. Like that. So there's another way to show the values, light to dark. Okay, this one I did hatching, and I really just used 3 pencils, and you can just do this with all 12 pencils if you want. You can make 12 squares and you can show the darkness of each one. I just used the 4H on this one, so the hatchings are just farther apart in this one and then closer and closer. And then I go to the 2B, and these ones are similar in distance apart, but because it's a darker lead, slightly darker, okay? And then I started with the 2B on this one, and then I went to the 6B. So let's do 2B here. Where's my 2B? And we'll do this one right here. And then we'll use our 6B, and we will just fill in this last square, which you can see it's just, the lines are right next to each other. And then you do it the other way. It's almost like we took a blending stump to this one. So you can see how useful this would be when you have a set of pencils. And you want to see the lightness and darkness. So we have our spheres from last week, and these ones I just used the H and the 6B. And H is a really nice one that just gives you kind of a medium tone. It's nice when you're sketching. A really thin line. So we're taking circles here and we're turning them into spheres just by the shading, which I think is very cool. Okay, then 6B. You can see how much darker this is. And you can see right here I've got reflected light coming off the table, that little white part on the bottom. I don't think we'd have as much reflected light on these ones because they're up in the air. There might be a little bit on this one, but see, there's nothing on that one. So I'm just letting up on the pressure if I want it to be lighter. That's basically what I'm doing. bottom. And then we have our shadow using the same 2 pencils. Okay, and then I'm going to use a blending stump, one of my well-loved ones. Okay, now remember, I can go back and I can clean up all of my edges, so I'm not too worried about coloring out of the lines. It is not an issue. So I want to get my kneaded eraser here, and I can just knead it into whatever shape probably say that word a lot, but that's okay. It's kind of fun. And this one, the dark part is a little bit smaller than the lighter part because the ball is, or sphere is farther away from the surface. So you can see you can do a lot of things with the sphere in your drawing. And I just want to go back and I want to do more blending and do that but not on camera. So fun. Well, I hoped you enjoyed the instruction on the sketching supplies and of course the pencils. I have a giveaway running over on my Instagram account, and I'm giving away all the supplies that I showed you today. The sketchbook, the set of 12 pencils, which I love. I have to get myself a set, and the tools, blending stumps and the extra eraser. And chocolate, a dark and a milk. So if you would like to enter the giveaway, the first thing you need to do is subscribe to this channel, and then hop on over to my Instagram account, which is Liz Morrill Art with 2 R's and 2 L's, and look for my post on March 22nd for the giveaway for all these supplies. Follow the instructions there, and for an extra entry, put a little emoji of sunglasses. So good luck. I hope you win. Anyway, have a great week, and we'll see you next time.